Give me one word to describe titanium for you and your motorcycle. Doesn't matter. Bolts, brackets, axles, whatever. One word. Let me help you out. Cool, sexy, light, expensive. I thought of this one this morning. How about irresponsible? But motorcycles in general are irresponsible. So maybe the best word of all is appropriate. Either way, I want some. I like titanium a lot. And I think you do too. So I'm about to start carrying it for some of my products. So before I do, let's talk about what it is, where it comes from, why it's expensive, what makes it strong, all this stuff. Could be interesting, right? I'm GoGo for Superduked.com. Titanium is next. As irresponsible as it is, you're a special person. If they own a motorcycle and you can't figure out what to get them for their birthday or Christmas or whatever, titanium. Anything in titanium. A keychain, a bolt, a bracket, definitely an axle. Why? Doesn't matter why. It doesn't make sense. Just get it for them. Trust me, it'll be a hit. So, having said that, that's why I'm going to start selling titanium that fit my parts for the Super Clamp, Sport Link, and Super Links, because I've been asked a few times to do it. So I'm going to do it. And it doesn't matter if you got an R1 or a Ducati, whatever, and you want to get some titanium. The process that I went through so I could understand the right titanium to use and the right way to get the threads made, all the stuff. Because I'm not just buying bolts. I'm getting bolts specifically made to fit my parts. So what I had to learn is fascinating. And I want to share it because you might find it fascinating too. So the story starts with metal. What the hell is metal, right? Because we talk about aluminum. I talk about 7075 T6 aluminum in my parts. You talk about like 6061, whatever the bike you have. All these terms and things get thrown up. Stainless steel. What does it all mean? Huh. So metal. There's some basic elements that just come from the earth. Iron and copper and magnesium and aluminum. Like, these are the things that we build with today. And I hate to break it to Iron Man, but did you know that iron by itself is pretty soft and weak? It's like you almost can't even really use it for anything. So this brings us to alloys. I never knew this, but think about the word alloy like allies, right? Some people who live in smart countries with smart leaders respect allies because one country with its own ideas by itself is only as strong as that one country is. You could think of it just like this, alloys with metal, right? So when you find another country that has a similar idea or similar needs and you team up, and now you've got like 5 countries that are allies and much stronger force to deal with, right? Metal is just like that. So iron is not really that strong. We've been building it with it for thousands of years, but it's not really that strong by itself. So when you add other things to it, like carbon, and I don't want to get into science and stuff, but you add things to it and you create what's called an alloy, and now iron gets a lot stronger, right? So there's carbon steel. There's all different kinds of steels. Carbon steels and stainless steels and titanium and aluminum. You know what's confusing though? Because I go to a place called Allen Steel, which is where I buy like scrap metal and stuff when I'm making stuff on the mill or whatever. And so Allen Steel, I buy aluminum there. What? It can be a little bit confusing. So aluminum, you can have its like purest form, just aluminum, and it's kind of weak. Doesn't have really, but what they use just pure aluminum for is like electrical wires, bendable. It really conducts electricity really well, but it's not very strong by itself. So that's when you get into things like 6061. You hear people talk about 6061. So now 6061 is an alloy. They add things to it. 7075 is an alloy. They add other things to it. The difference between 6061 and 7075 is actually a pretty big difference, not just in strength, but also in price. Unfortunately, there's in 7075 there's copper and there's zinc and there's magnesium that they mix in to make it super strong. 7075 is stronger and more rigid and doesn't flex as much as 6061 is much more flexy and like this. So that's why I talk about that. With all my parts are made of 7075. It's like better quality, stronger. You'll get better feel from the forks and things. When you tighten bolts and you really torque them down on, let's say, a Sport Link, just a flat piece of, so this is what I make Sport Links out of. This is a flat piece of 7075. So when you put a bolt through and you torque, and then you take the bolt off, there's like no mark, really. There's like no mark in it. But if this plate was 6061 that I made a Sport Link out of, and you torqued it down, when you took off the bolt later, the nut, there'd be like a dent in there. Like, there definitely would be marks. So it's like softer, right? So this is, like I said, don't break it to Iron Man, because if he's just iron, he ain't worth shit. Right now, I have, since the Super Clamp came out, always sold it with stainless steel bolts, which is, again, an alloy. So I don't know exactly what's in stainless steel, but it's really great at resisting corrosion, which is why I use it for the Super Clamp, because you could see the heads of the bolts. Who wants to see cruddy steel when you have that nice anodized orange or black? It's really pretty. So that's why I use them. And there's different grades of stainless steel too. There's softer stainless steel. There's more stronger, harder stainless steel. I use that one for the bolts, even though I only use them for fork pinch bolts, and there's like very light torque. It's very gentle torque. Even the weaker stainless steel bolts would be fine to use for that. But I use the better ones just because that's what I do. I always overbuild things, even with carpentry. I was a carpenter most of my life. I still am, and always default to making it way stronger than it needs to be. The phone never rings. People don't complain. So same thing with my parts. Same kind of theory. So now with titanium, you want to see something really interesting? Titanium. There's different grades of titanium, just like there's different grades of stainless steel. And you'll see sometimes, if you're interested about titanium bolts, maybe you go to eBay and you say, well, how much is this bolt? You know, I know titanium is really expensive, but maybe I can get some off eBay and they're not that expensive. So if you read the fine print, they don't really mention what grade it is for those cheaper titanium bolts, because that's called grade 2. Grade 2 is like pretty standard titanium. It's lightweight, but it's kind of soft. It's not very strong. So grade 5 titanium, that's like the stuff that you see on rockets and aerospace stuff. It's super high quality, super high strength. The processes to make it are, you know what's interesting? I learned this. You know how long they've been making iron, like swords and things, medieval times? Like 3,000 years we've been taking iron out of the earth and melting it down and adding things to it, and then making steel stuff, swords and things. 3,000 years. You know how long we've been making stuff out of titanium? It was discovered in like the 1700s, but no one could do anything with it because the process was so difficult to get the titanium out of whatever the hell it came out of the earth. 1920. And even in 1920, it wasn't really mass produced. It's just they discovered a process to do it, to actually produce it that's easier and makes more sense. It wasn't until 1950 that we've been able to produce it in big numbers, like mass produce a titanium. So you talk about the process of iron, like getting iron out of the earth, and the process of getting titanium out of the earth. Iron is very mature. All the processes, the machines, everything has been around for thousands of years, right? Titanium, not that long. So 75, 76 years, that's not that long. So that's one of the reasons why it's so expensive. it's a complicated process to make titanium. It's expensive because it's kind of new-ish still, and it's sexy. We already talked about that, right? It's sexy. So grade 2 is kind of weak, soft. If you see things on eBay for bolts, if you're gonna buy it, it's fine. I'm sure that work, but don't use it for something that takes serious torque, like even moderate torque, because they're weak. It's not strong. The bolts are not strong. Grade 5 titanium is, now you're getting into some wicked strength. It's going to be more expensive, a lot more expensive. Like if you looked at a regular common steel bolt that you get at Home Depot, like an M8 by 25 millimeter bolt, Home Depot, what's it going to be, like 35 cents? That same bolt, the same M8, the same length in titanium is going to be like $10. Grade 5 in the same is going to be like maybe $20. It's crazy, right? So one of the things that I've learned about making super clamps and sport links is if you hire a machinist to make it, like the first super clamp that I made for me to test with cost me $1,200 just for the upper clamp. $1,200 just for the lower clamp. What the? So, yet now, if I order 20 of them, it's nowhere near that much money. It's still expensive. But the point is, when you make multiples, the more you make, the more the price goes down. So I kind of did an irresponsible thing. I took a guess that you would be as interested in titanium as I am. So I couldn't buy just pre-made bolts that fit the super clamp because the opening for the bolt is 14 millimeters, and most standard titanium bolts that are pre-made, and you can just give me 200 of these things, the flange of the head is too big. It won't fit in. So I designed perfectly spaced, shaped bolts to work with the super clamp, and I got enough of them machined so they will be affordable. And when I say affordable, there's the eBay price for a bolt, and then I looked around a lot. In Europe, in America, all places that I found that have good reputations and have good bolts, solid places, race supply places. It's like $20, right? So I'm priced these. Am I really doing this for money? I don't understand what's wrong with me. If this is the eBay price and this is your price, I'm pricing like there. Way lower than the equal quality. There's also one more thing about quality. Interesting. When you make a bolt, well, you don't make it on a mill, you make it on a lathe, which is over there. You can't see it. You take a cutting tool and you cut into the side of the bolt, and that's where the threads come from. But the thing is, when you have a bolt that's, you've got this shaft and you're cutting into the bolt, you make the bolt weaker, obviously, right? The bolt gets weaker. There's another way to make threads on a bolt. And believe it or not, you do it when it's cold. You don't do it when it's molten hot or anything. They cold press roll threads. So it's like this pressure thing that they do. They don't remove any material at all. They just kind of push and form the metal, the titanium, so it's the shape of the threads. It's way stronger. I'll tell you a little story if you're hanging out this long. I used to wrench for Jimmy Adamo, okay, number 26, twins AMA. He raced in Europe. He did Suzuki 8 hours. He was nuts. He lived in the town next to mine. I'll do a video one time talking about just my experiences with Jimmy. It was wild, man. Wild, man. So I lived on Long Island, North Shore. He did too. And one day we had to go get bolts to bolt the head on his 851 to the case, right? That motor had a problem where what do you call those bolts? I can't think of what they're called right now, but you slide the cylinder on top of the bolts sticking up, and then the head goes down and you put the nuts on, right? Whatever the hell those bolts are called. They stretched on the 851s. They stretched, and he would have motor problems all the time. So there was a place on the South Shore of Long Island that sold titanium. They're not rod bolts. It pisses me off. I can't remember the name. And one of the things that was special about them was they rolled the threads. So they were super strong. And I remember him talking about that. I had no idea what he was talking about. I mean, he explained it to me. His wife was a machinist, Melanie. Cool chick. Really cool chick. She explained it too. And it was interesting. But one day, we have to go. We're rebuilding this motor. And we got to go across the island in his mother's station wagon, which was it a Buick? I forget. But it was wood paneling, huge station wagon with a 454 motor in it. I don't know why they put this motor in that car, and I don't know why someone let Jimmy ever drive it. Because I swear to you, the percentage of time that his foot was on the floor of the car. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't break the gas pedal off. On the floor. The 4-barrel carbs, all you heard was these things hum. I thought, forget about being arrested. I thought we were going to be killed. Unbelievable speeds in a station wagon that handled like an ice cream cone. It was ridiculous. But anyway, there's rolled threads. I don't know where that story came from. But it's important. So the bolts that I'm selling are roll threads. They're custom made for the super clamp. They're also all drilled for safety wire. Also, the bolts that I'm making for the Sport Links, if you have a Sport Link or a Super Link, it's the same bolts. They're also safety wired all throughout the head and the nut. The washer's not safety wired, but the nut will be safety wired too. Because I've been told over the years that probably because steel is a little bit softer and stretches and flexes, and so when you torque it, that kind of stretching and flexing kind of helps it hold itself in place, where titanium, being much more rigid and stronger, doesn't flex as much. So sometimes titanium bolts can come loose because they don't have that same grip, from the way it was explained to me. So that's why I've got them pre-drilled for safety wire on the nuts and the bolts, just because, I mean, really, what is cooler looking than safety wire bolts? It's actually even fun to do if you like sewing. It's a lot like sewing. So there's a little bit of an education about titanium and metal, and I didn't even mention dinosaurs. I'm GoGo for Superduked.com. Go to the site, Superduked.com, and you'll see I'm putting something up there like tomorrow-ish about these titanium bolts, kits, right? Separate for the Sport Links, the Super Links, and for the Super Clamp. All the bolts that you can see. And the heads, this is cool. This is so cool. The heads of the bolts are 10 millimeter. You can get it with socket or Torx. Because all the stainless steel bolts that I've been selling with the super clamps up to now have been Allen's. So, it's an Austrian bike. Everything's Torx. Then you work on the super clamp, you got to change to Allen's. No more. Now you can have Torx. Cool, right? I'm GoGo for Superduked.com. I don't care what your bike is or who your person is. Get them titanium. Their birthday's coming.